It was a hell of a game and a classic 11 years ago. Texas and USC at the Rose Bowl with some of the great college football players of all time on the field, fighting it out till the end for the national championship. And of course, Texas pulling off the upset with Vince Young at the controls over USC. Fast forward to Saturday night, and yes, we may have an intriguing game at the Coliseum, but nothing that's going to quite shake up the college football world or the history of the sport as it did some 11 or 12 years ago. We bring in Nick Dempsey from Conquest Chronicles to help us break down Texas and USC. Nick, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Getting excited for this game.
I'm getting a little bit more excited than I was initially because on the surface, Texas, 3 consecutive losing seasons, a loser at home to Maryland in week 1, giving up 51 points, seemed like no match for USC. But there are a few possible chinks in the armor that weren't displayed against Stanford, but just some news out there and some theories that you can kind of deduct of USC's approach to this game. And then if everything falls into place with Tom Herman and his crew, maybe it gets a little intriguing.
Yeah, I think one of the things that a lot of folks are quick to point out, and rightfully so, is that Tom Herman does a heck of a job against ranked opponents, against Power 5 opponents, and he does an amazing job when he's coaching in games that he's supposed to lose. You can look at Louisville and Oklahoma last year, or Florida State in the Peach Bowl when he was with Houston. You can go back to when he was the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. He was going into the Big Ten championship game and then the playoffs with his third string quarterback, I believe. He has a tremendous amount of adaptability, and he is able to get the most out of his guys, and he wins games frequently, almost always, that everyone seems like he's going to lose. On the other hand, particularly last year at Houston and this year against Maryland, he does have a tendency to lose games he should win. But the good news for Texas is if that trend holds, this is a game he is supposed to lose. Everyone seems quite comfortable in their pick for USC to win. There are a lot of experts and fans that are even saying, just sort of openly wondering if Texas should just sort of hope to be competitive, if that should be considered a win for the long-term health of the program. I can tell you USC's head coach Clay Helton is absolutely not thinking about that. He is routinely referred to Tom Herman this week and Texas as the sleeping giant. I think he is quite comfortable with the possibility that Texas could come out and play like a team that we have not seen this season or, frankly, in a very long time from a Texas team. I think he's quite cognizant of the fact that this Texas team could come out and play a lot more like Houston against Oklahoma last year than, say, Texas versus Maryland this year. So I think he is not quite as certain that this is going to be as big of a blowout or a curb stomping as a lot of people are predicting. He has also kept his players focused. The Stanford game was great, and everybody's kind of riding high, and they went out there and it worked exactly like it was supposed to. But now he doesn't want that letdown. And so he has had these guys, he's taken the same approach this week headed into Texas as he did last year after they had that big win against the Washington Huskies. And the following week they had to go back on the road to UCLA. And so he doesn't want to let down. It's right back to work, guys. That was great. But now it's, Saturday was great, but now it's Sunday and we haven't won any games this week. So he is preparing for a pretty epic clash. I think he is certainly not of the opinion that a lot of the experts are, and perhaps a lot of the Texas fans are, that USC should win this comfortably.
Nick Dempsey from Conquest Chronicles helping us break down USC taking on Texas at the Coliseum. And Nick, you started the argument. I'll continue it for Texas in a possible good game that we could behold on a poor week 3 of scheduling. Nick and I went through the scheduling, and we want this Texas USC game to turn out to be something decent. I know USC fans, you want to see 52-0,